Now, joining us to discuss these developments is Dr. Froilan Calilung, a political science professor at the University of Santo Tomas. Let's start first with that latest story with vote buying or alleged vote buying, particularly in several areas in the country. Pero yung nabasa ko kagabi was Batangas. So dun sa Batangas, they suspended the implementation of the 273 million in financial assistance programs and possibly the use of AIX during the campaign period. What are your thoughts on I guess, first of all, this exemption into the financial aid programs by the government given by the COMELEC? Hindi ba dapat aasahan na rin kahit papaano na maaaring maabuso? Is it this too late already of a decision from the COMELEC? Your thoughts on that?
Yes, I first and foremost, Gretchen, thank you so much for having me, and good morning also to your viewers. And well, regarding that, I think it's a good decision on the part of the COMELEC to actually ban this or temporarily suspend this, especially right now that we're already in the home stretch of the elections. Although my thoughts on this should have been done, I think, months ago to really avoid or discredit any account or any kind of influence peddling that could really hamper or distort what will be the outcome of the elections. No? So, yung kasing ayuda, technically speaking, kahit sabihin naman natin na ito ay, paulit-ulit man natin sabihin na ito ay galing sa gobyerno, na ito ay binibigay sa ating mga kababayan bilang pantulong, bilang pantawid, hindi natin may aalis kasi yung idea na kung sino yung nagbigay nito, siya yung maaaring magkaroon ng undue influence doon sa magiging desisyon ng ating mga kababayan, especially come election day. So I agree that this should have been done a lot, siguro hindi lang dapat ngayon, siguro matagal na, more or less mga 6 months or more ago, para lang talagang masiguro na wala yung patronage at wala yung influensya sa ating mga kababayan.
And of course, we're not just talking about Batangas here. As we mentioned, there are several mayors, vice mayor, governors involved over those accusations in different parts of the Philippines. And we're talking about AIX, we're talking about ACAP. But who do you think might have benefited from these ayuda programs?
Well, definitely, I would say that these are actually flagship programs of the current administration. So definitely, those congressmen and those local government officials that are closely allied to the government, practically to the Marcos administration, may have definitely benefited from these programs. Presumably because they have easier access to this funding, and they are actually, of course, aligned also with the SWD, which of course is the primary agency which is supposed to be giving rolling out this program. So definitely nakikita ko rito yung mga kaalyado ng ating administration, practically those who, for example, who signed the impeachment complaint against the vice president may really have benefited from this. And syempre, yun nga, yung timing. Although, sinasabi naman ng marami na matagal na nila itong ginagawa even before the elections. But my position on this is that siguro dapat ngayong election, mas naging firm yung ating contention at yung ating decision na wag muna siyang ipatupad. And then maybe after elections, we can continue with this. Or probably, mas maganda siguro if we could have long-term, more sustainable means, not just giving dole-outs, not just giving this programs na yun nga na medyo nakakalungkot, parang na-transform na tayo into becoming an ayuda nation. Which is not supposed to be the case. If we could actually have more meaningful, more sustainable livelihood programs that are good not only in the short term but more so in the long run, I think mas magiging maganda yon para sa atin ba.
Pero Prof, actually, kaya ako nabanggit yung Batangas kasi nanggaling ako doon para sa aking Baluarte documentary. At umikot-ikot kami sa mga palengke, sa mga kalsada doon. Tinatanong namin kung ano yung tingin nilang pwedeng maging basihan ng pipiliin nilang susunod na leader. At ang sabi nila, ay, itong politiko na ito, si letter A, kasi siya yung naramdaman ko dito eh. Sabi ko, ano ibig sabihin nun? Sabi niya, ito, nabigyan kami ng bigas, nabahagian kami, nabigyan kami ng assistance of some sort, di kami nakakalimutan yan. How do you think can you communicate sustainable livelihood programs to the people if those are not immediately felt? I mean, isn't it just also, on the other hand, pragmatic to cover all of your bases?
I somewhat agree with that, Gretchen. Basically because ito nga yung mga immediate na pangailangan ng ating mga kababayan. But then again, siguro mahalaga rin talaga yun, tama yun, how we're able to communicate. And I think the communication will be effective if we are not just going through the rhetorics. No? Mahalaga dito, may konkreto ka talagang polisiya at konkretong programa no, kung paano ba talaga ito i-execute. Maaring mahirap ito no para sa ating mga kababayan na medyo nasanay talaga sa ganitong kalakaran sa ngayon, pero yun nga mas mahalaga na makita natin talaga yung long-term benefits nitong mga programa na ito. And I think the government should be at the forefront of articulating this to our countrymen ano, at para hindi talaga sila aasa lamang dito sa mga ganitong dole-outs na sa totoo lang temporary tsaka band-aid solution lang naman ang kaya nitong ibigay for now. Yun nga, and lalong-lalo na ngayon na ginagamit siya sa elections. No? So sabi ko nga kanina, whether or not sabihin man natin na talagang ito ay hindi talaga para sa eleksyon, pero kung ito ay binibigay sa mga tao, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ng kampanya, hindi maiiwasan na magkakaroon talaga ng influence peddling and patronage politics dito sa ating bayan na yun nga dapat talaga naka-monitor dito ang COMELEC at iba't ibang ahensya ng ating pamilya.
Speaking of communicating, the former Vice President has communicated that she is endorsing Manny Pacquiao and also Ben-Hur Abalos in a rally over, I think, in Naga. And what she said about Manny Pacquiao, we will always be behind Manny Pacquiao. He is a good man who can be trusted. At pagdating naman kay Ben-Hur Abalos, ang sabi niya, nag-extend daw ng help si DILG Secretary sa Naga City when it was struck by severe tropical storm Christine in 2024. Your thoughts on those two endorsements by the former Vice President?
Well, definitely what we're seeing here is definitely this is a plus factor for Senator Manny Pacquiao and former Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos, no? Because definitely I would say that the former Vice President still has a very good and considerable solid following. No? Matatag at matibay pa rin naman yung suporta ng marami nating kababayan dito kay former Vice President Leni Robredo. And I think this is something no, na talagang makakapitalize at magiging leverage, magagamit bilang isang leverage ni Senator Manny Pacquiao. Ganun din naman ni former DILG Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos. And this will really pump prime no, and further intensify their respective campaigns, especially for DILG Secretary Abalos na medyo hindi talaga siya nakakapasok dun sa Magic 12. No? This is a much needed prize for him. And siguro mahalaga na makita natin dito yung mga characteristics na nakita ng ating former Vice President sa kanila. Una, yung tinawag niyang very kind and trustworthy si Senator Manny Pacquiao, which is of course very much important din naman sa larangan ng ating politika na magkaroon tayo ng politiko na pagpapagkatiwalaan natin. And on the part of a former DILG Secretary, yung tingin ko yung dependability, no? Pagiging maasahan, tsaka yung responsiveness, lalong-lalo na sa isang mahalagang crisis na sitwasyon, kagaya nga ng Typhoon Christine, yung nakita niya. And I think this, even if many other people from the Liberal Party are not in favor of this, I think at this point in time, we should also understand the wisdom of former Vice President Leni Robredo as to why she's actually making this endorsement.
But does this make the lines clearer now that the Vice President has endorsed administration-backed candidates in both of them? And also, What does this say about the power of the administration when it comes to pulling up ratings? So we see Alyansa Para sa Bagong Pilipinas candidates, for example, Camille Villar get the endorsement of VP Sara. Amy Marcos get the endorsement of VP Sara. Manny Pacquiao and Ben, who are going the other way, getting the endorsement of Leni Robredo. What does that say about the power of this administration in carrying candidates? And do we see the lines clearer now?
Well, let's face it. Let's face it. The current administration is, I think, suffering from some kind of, I think, a popularity issue at this point in time because of what transpired. The recent events, especially the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte, and we actually saw that there was a significant dip in the ratings, practically of the president as well as the House Speaker. So definitely I think at this point in time, many of the administration candidates may actually be looking for other sources of support, and in order to provide the necessary leverage going into the home stretch, something that they feel the current administration may not be able to give to them at this point in time. And we also need to understand that the Alyansa is just a coalition. Hindi ito isang what do you call this, political party, no? It's actually a coalition. Kumbaga binuo lang naman ito para talaga dito sa election na ito. Hindi kagaya ng PDP laban, talagang isang partido. So I believe talagang kakailanganin nila lahat. And as we always say, politics is all about addition, and it's imperative that these candidates are looking into other avenues in which they could get solid support.
Well, to add to that, the PDP Laban has added to its slate Ariel Querubin and Gringo Onasan, and things are seemingly closing, and we're getting a clearer sight of things as we head on over to the last 3 weeks of the election period, or the campaign, last 2 weeks of the campaign period. In the meantime, thank you for shedding light, and we'll see the impact of those endorsements in the coming surveys. But ngayon, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your time and insights. We have Professor Froilan Calilung.